Hello, everyone, and welcome to Building Blocks. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy Wednesday. If it's morning, good morning. If it's evening, good evening. Good afternoon, all that great stuff.
Yeah.
We are here to go over some incredible creations that the family member has been designing. So we're going to go over them, just almost feels like Vlogmas.
It's awesome.
Right?
It's awesome and inspiring also.
Right. So we saw a lot of like Paul Dixon. We're going to go over Paul Dixon. We're going to go over Martin McKenna.
Brian.
And we're going to go over Brian. And just look at it, all of them, and then take something from all of them and design something.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, they're posting in the Ecamm Live beta group, right? Sharing what you create there. If you have like feature requests, you can also send your feature requests for 4.1 beta in the Ecamm beta Facebook group. But also show us what you're working with, right?
Yeah.
And they've been busy.
Yeah. Show us your creation, and just gotta send a shout out to Paul. Like I looked at his graphic, and I was like, okay. But when he added a picture of his organization, I was like, yes, Paul Dixon, yes.
The folders and the overlays, yes.
The overlays, because you have to be organized in order to do all of this design, especially with all the effects and all the new features that are added. You have to stay organized so that you can save yourself some headaches later.
Yeah.
So and then Martin.
Yeah, Martin is like specializing in creating 110% presentations all inside the Ecamm Live.
Love it.
No PowerPoint, no keynotes, kiss all that stuff goodbye.
Love it.
You know, you could bring in elements, but oh man, it's awesome. So like you'll see, you kind of see the build out in the video.
Yeah, and also, you know, I saw a thing about wireframes, and I was like, I thought Martin McKenna had coined the phrase, but now whenever I see wireframes, a word, I think of Martin McKenna. So let's say hello to the fam and see who's here.
Oh, look at this. We didn't go to the scene during that check.
We just black.
We didn't go there.
Blackout. It's all right. That could have been a design. That could have been a design for just, you didn't have to, like, it's a black design.
Blackout.
Blackout. Let's see. Shay. Nice seeing you. Hello.
Dan. We miss you, Dan. It's been so busy and we haven't had to interact with Dan. We miss you.
Yeah,
we really miss you, Dan.
Totally.
Thank you. And thank you for that. Paul is here. Amazing Mr. Moderator. I was waiting for the hi fam. I don't see the hi fam comment from Paul, but he's already saying, he just jumped in saying hello to everybody.
Richard, hello. How did you?
Good to see you here. Roy is here.
Gary.
Good to see you, Gary. DJ right on beat. Paul Dixon is here.
Hand pink waving.
Al Jennings, good to see you here.
Hello, Al. I saw someone who looked just like you today while I was photographing an event, and real quick I was just like, I'm like, no, Al Jennings is not from Syracuse. He's not going to be here. This is not relevant to him. Right. He's not here.
We'll see him in October. In October. And I see Paul's comment going in, was doing the poll and forgot to say, hey, fam.
Okay, so let's get started. Reviewing this incredible designs. And again, just like Fuljens mentioned, if you have any designs, if you want to practice, the great features are in the beta, which are incredible. Go on and test them out in the Ecamm Live beta community. You can download the beta at ecamm.com/beta and just have fun. You will have two different versions of Ecamm. You will have the beta version, and you will have the regular version that you can just go and continue to use, and it's not impacted.
Yes.
So.
And you make a great point there, because there are some features in beta, such as like rotating text, rotating overlays, and all those things like that, that when you open up your native Ecamm, of course, those features will not be there.
Right.
However, if you did create a design where you created a rotation or something like that, or a blend or whatever, they'll stay there. You just cannot edit them. But those things will transfer over, just not those features itself. You can't go clicking and re-rotating or whatnot.
Because it's not the beta.
It's not the beta.
Beta is the beta.
Beta is better. The beta is better.
The beta is better.
The beta is better.
Yes. Okay, let's do this. Let's go on and design. And for those of you who are not familiar yet with updates in the beta, they have tons of videos. We put a video out. Marsha put a video out. Adrian Salisbury put another video out. So there are tons of great videos out there that go over all of the features. Alec put one out as well. So we're just going to go right in and just go over the incredible designs.
Yeah, and if we have time to build some blocks, we will do so. We will do so also. So first, we're going to cover
Brian.
Brian has been so busy, everyone, and there is one recently. It seems like it was so long ago, saying July 27th, and we're in August.
Listen, I don't know what happened to July. July just was like 150 days.
Yeah.
I don't understand about July.
But so we did create waiting screen designs last week live, and Brian got his inspiration from there, and he created some pretty cool stuff. So let's check that out.
This design, when we pull it up, it reminds me of, I believe it's Alice in Wonderland, where I haven't watched that movie, but I do think that that's the movie that it reminds me of. That everything is kind of twisty. Is that Alice in Wonderland?
It can be. I think there was something like that in there. Yeah.
Like everything is twisted, and then the everything is.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it reminds me of. But look at this is great. So it looks like he brought in a picture, an overlay in, and or it could have been on multiple. And look at this. And this could be a fantastic waiting screen.
It's pretty
cool.
That's
what it is,
And that is with one of the filters there. The twist and twirl features, right?
And then he's there in his camera overlay. And if it's a waiting screen, doesn't even need to be there.
Right.
If he didn't, if it chose not to.
Right.
But look at this.
And,
so fun.
Yeah. And he has some more stuff in here. So let's check this out.
Yeah, and that looks like he is applying the text, the cutout.
And some blend modes in there as well. Yes. Let's see what he says too.
Pad, I pinch it, I can expand it, and it goes like full screen. And so all I did is put water in the background, and again, the cutout text, something different. Again, I'm just really enjoying all the creativity that you can apply to all these things.
Yeah, cut out text and some blend modes in there.
Yeah, and I love it how it's, have the 9 and have the 2, and because of the numbers just keep changing. And this is great. Also simple, does it?
Yes.
Right?
This just shows you how easy now it's just to create a veil inside of Ecamm, right? So before,
and add a gradient.
Yeah. Because before we had to manipulate a text box and try to stretch it across the screen, but now you just have the shape. You just stretch the shape across the screen and you're good to go. And add your opacity.
Yeah.
This is more text cutout stuff there, right? So he has an arrow. The arrow is actually a font, right? And then bringing in doing the text cutout. And Brian has mastered the text cutout, being able to stretch it across the screen like we're seeing it now.
And that's and that's the thing. Practice makes it better, and as they say, it makes it perfect. It makes it better than you were before. And I'm enjoying all of the things that Brian is doing. Because like Paul mentioned also, there are a lot of things that he discovered or he experienced while he was building that is teaching him, as you and I know, right, to be applied to other things that he's going to do.
Absolutely.
So look at this.
This is pretty cool too. So the past few weeks we showed you that you can actually create the little chasing rings using the border around the circle, but Brian actually brought that in. Now he's adding the twirl effect.
Twirls.
That looks so dope.
It so does.
That looks so dope right there with the twirl thing in there.
It's just like, what? You created this inside of Ecamm? Well, yes, I did.
Exactly.
Yes.
Show us how.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Right, so now this is showcasing that you can rotate your text. And then some more Ecamm art, as Paul Dixon coined it. And this is pretty cool.
Oh, look at it. I love
Right.
Who are those two?
I wouldn't have thought to like, use our thumbnail like that. So like we're actually always pointing to something. So we're pointing to the timer, which was pretty clever, Brian. Like this is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome.
So Shay, is the same thing, right? Is Ecamm all of the production aspect of it, the building, the scene, the sound and the sound effects, all profiles, everything will be the same in the beta as well as in the the release version right now, the regular Ecamm that you have.
Yeah.
So you will get more features using the beta. However, there are certain things, because obviously the beta is the beta, right? Still testing. We're just continue to test and continue to do things. And because all of us are playing, we break with the beta, right? Sometimes here and there. So that's the only thing, right? So you can play with it, and whatever you learn in the beta, you can so apply it in the regular version of it, right? Minus the new features that are not included.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say go beta.
Yeah, go better.
I'll say go beta. I typically don't, right? But because of this overlay, this feature update, go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We have a great question from Paul. Yes, we certainly can do that later on. If you have time, can you show how you made the moving circle border? Questions have come out about that.
Okay.
Yes, we will.
Nice.
Right?
Yes.
So we definitely will go over that. And
Okay.
Shay says that makes sense. Okay, awesome.
Nice.
Who do we have next?
We have
Listen,
Martin McKenna.
And I was telling Anna, I was like, we should just let this whole video play, because like Martin just breaks it down so well. But
And then he gets so excited too.
And he kind of like, there's some parts like we should definitely like play just so you could hear what he's saying, right? So there's a video where Martin McKenna is going over some feature requests. I think it's like 3 feature requests. One of them is not necessarily a feature request. It's he also asked if you can copy and paste like a group of overlays, like a folder, but you can already do that. If you have a folder with several overlays to create a logo or whatever it is, you can just Command-C, Command-V, and it'll just copy and paste it. So that feature's already there. But
And
let's go.
you can also do that with overlays. You can apply effects that you already have done in one overlay. You can do the same thing and apply it to another overlay. Everything will paste. If you had a border, if you had transparency, if you had text, whatever you had in it, it will copy.
Yeah,
it
for
will
sure.
paste it.
For sure. Only thing though, if your overlays are locked in the folder and then you Command-C, Command-V it will unlock the copy, right? So you have to go back and lock everything back in place. So let's check out Martin McKenna. Let me see. So we could just mute this for a second and play this. See here. Okay. All right. So this is what we mean when we say like Martin is basically building his presentations entirely inside of Ecamm. So actually, we don't have to skim. We will go through some parts, but just check out the flow of the bullets coming in Ecamm right here as Martin is doing the feature request.
And before you play it, the color palette.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, the color palette is beautiful. It looks, it's so Martin.
Yeah.
It's
And he gets a lot of inspiration from that. Like for example, he's taking color pickers from like his background and stuff like that. And he mentions that in the video also. It's just so awesome. But just check this out. Let's play this for a little bit.
I have got a few feature requests, so this is a bit of a case of give them an inch and they take a mile. So first of all, thank you for all the fantastic new stuff that's in 4.1. It has made a whole load of stuff that I've done previously totally redundant, but that's okay because it's brilliant new features. But there's a couple of things which I've found as I've been going along, and I would just like to request that they appear at a later date. So I'm going to try and press the right buttons, and as you probably know if you watched me before, that doesn't always happen correctly. But first request that I have is the ability to make a rectangle a square. So at the moment when you bring in the rectangle and you go to size it, you're not sure whether or not it's a square. And the use case for me is I use a lot of squares building up various different elements of my presentations. So whether that is another shape or whether that is a keyboard shortcut, hold down, click, alt and drag, and it's definitely a square. I would just like to know that when I'm producing a rectangle, I can choose that it is a square. So that's number one. And next scene.
Right, so you see how those things are
Yeah,
flying in.
yeah.
So these are all shapes and text overlays. That
And
he's
I love
building
how
in.
the colors are changing now. And so it looks like what? Does he change the scene, and then there's a different.
Yeah.
So that was nice, and this is what he meant, I guess. With I'm gonna press buttons and
Boom.
see. So
yeah.
yeah.
And then there's like
Yeah.
a little a fade effect there as well, right? And if you go through here, you notice that he also showcased some of like his other presentations here, where he's just bringing in simple text with like some opacity to that, and just looks so good.
Yeah.
Especially when you combination of using a green screen background, right? So
His green screen skills are of the hook.
Yeah.
I love the circles on the top. I
Yeah.
love the border. This is Martin. Listen, this is incredible. This is
Yeah.
great job.
yeah. I love these squares that are being brought in, and they're rotated to look like diamond shapes and whatnot. So that is clever use of the rotation feature in Ecamm 4.1 beta. Check
Look at
out.
this. I mean, I'm like, yes, these are the things that you can do. Look at that fish came in. You
Yeah.
can bring that in, and you can bring the photos in if they're and apply the green filter, the green screen filter.
Yes.
Look at this. It's just
And check out, which we'll cover in a second, check out the motion on the circles there.
I did not notice
Right?
that. That's great.
Right.
I was just noticing, it's like the whole thing just blends in.
Yeah.
So it's like you appreciate the entire design.
Yeah, for sure. That is so awesome. Check out the scrolling ticker going into the Martin,
other,
the mask, but also he added a motion background around the Martin. And in this part here, he's just describing like he just Command C and Command V the entire scene and
Right.
just changed the entire color palette just from the background behind him.
I mean, and that's as simple as it gets, right? I
Yeah.
mean, just changing the color. But this is
Yeah.
what's up? There's Goldie, says Paul, and Steve Cullum is looking. Can't wait to get back to my computer in a few weeks and actually try out these new features.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can watch videos, Steve. Watch videos, because once you start you're just gonna be like,
Yeah.
yes, this is it. As you have seen here, it's just
And Paul Dixon is saying, I think he changes the color with the new fill modes, multiply, overlay. That can be it also. There's like now you have
Yeah.
options now, right?
Yeah.
You can Command C, Command V, a scene, and just change the colors that way, or you can add those new blend
That's
modes.
why in the waiting
That's
screen
awesome.
that I was asking you,
Yeah.
if you change the blend modes on the
We can break it down
Yeah.
also too.
yeah, because that's
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's great. Just bring in the scene and change it. And I was creating a thumbnail inside of Ecamm that I was showing Fuljens, but he's like, that's too out of our branding.
I mean, it's just completely different. But it looks
Like
great
too out of
though.
our branding, but it's great. Like I
Yeah.
use a lot of circles and nice and we can do a little bit of it if we have time.
Mm-hmm.
But the blend modes can create such a difference in the same design.
For sure. And Shay says, this is amazing, inspiring so many ideas for my upcoming projects.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
yeah.
We totally agree. Paul says, Martin continues to amaze.
For sure.
Yes.
Martin. Okay, so
Man,
shall we?
we're
So we
about to-
done?
yeah.
Are we done with Martin?
Yeah. So definitely, so if you just search for Martin McKenna in the Ecamm Live community and in the Ecamm Live Beta Facebook community, and you'll see tons of content from
Yeah. And the thing is, as you get started, just for example, you see something that you like, in whether it is on Martin's design, whether it is on Paul Dixon's, one of ours, one of Marshall's, you can take a screenshot and just try duplicating it so that you can start getting the practice in, right? Start duplicating, start figuring out how they do that.
Yeah.
And then you will be surprised because you will for certain find something that you didn't know you could do.
Yeah.
while practicing.
Yeah.
So just and then do it in the beta, right? Do it
Yeah.
in the beta and practice there,
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so now
so
this
we can get extra excited.
this next one here, you know, and I appreciate this not only because you know, how it was created and you know how it was inspired and all that good stuff, and just the respect for like the work that went into it.
Yeah.
But do you remember 2 years ago when we did ENN vertical, and then we just had the vertical like, how can we create these creative countdown
Right.
while in vertical,
Right.
to go live on ENN on Facebook at the time, just on Facebook.
Just on Facebook, yeah.
And we created this like vertical little Game Boy thing. We were just like in the little square. We had like a up, down,
Yeah,
left,
yeah.
right. Very simple
Yeah.
because at that time we were like on Ecamm
Right.
3 point, I don't know, right? 3.5, 3.5, 3.4, whatever features we had there, we created this little Game Boy thing.
And it was
then
cute.
It was awesome.
really nice.
It was
really
awesome.
nice. Yeah.
But now,
let's just
let's
show
just
what's
show
going
you.
on.
Let's just show you.
This is Paul Dixon, as Loria dearly calls him. What?
The magical Paul
Dixon.
Dixon. Here we go. Yo, you wouldn't have even thought.
Not at all.
You wouldn't have
Not at
thought that this is 100% overlays inside of Ecamm. You wouldn't have thought.
And let's talk about the crispiness of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? It just looks nice. It looks crisp. It looks sharp. The color palette, the combination, the lines in the corner, everything just works perfectly together. So that
God.
is incredible.
Yeah.
And I love the little buttons,
Yes.
right? The
button, there's a-
details, the shadow.
There's a shadow behind the button to
Yeah.
create that little kind of like a little like a wedge.
button,
yeah,
the 3D
Yeah,
effect.
create some depth. If you look out there, there's like this up on top where it says off on. You see like the little gray rectangle behind it, right? Oh my gosh!
Like
and
on, off.
It's
You
it's
know
just
what?
Beautiful. This
I
is
don't
beautiful.
know if Paul mentioned it, but how long did it take you to do this? Because I
Right.
just I'm like, I know,
Paul Duncanson only took him 10 minutes to do.
you know, I don't. Paul, if it did, please do not say that. But it's just I love it,
and then also too, right? Paul also gave us a video of what it looks like, right? If in action, let's see if we could play that. Boom!
look at that.
My gosh.
Yeah, I mean, just beautiful. Nintendo Ecamm fam. So no, it's just and it looks. It's just Paul Dixon. It's just incredible. It shows every skill you have, every skill. Cause look at the up and down buttons inside
Yeah.
how it just looks 3D.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And then
It
the
is
other
awesome.
one, the AB buttons. What is
Yeah.
it? The action buttons.
Yep.
Action buttons.
The D-pad and the action buttons.
Yeah.
I love this.
We were just like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Paul! Like we were just examining.
Yeah, and I know Paul also shared the folder like of like how everything is layered in there, but it's pretty cool.
He has an OG Game Boy, which helped. Which
Nice.
is
Yeah.
just awesome.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
Like seeing it in real life, but
Yeah.
but you gotta apply the details. You have to know how to
Yeah.
make that in a digital form.
Yeah, because like I could actually like once I saw this
Mm-hmm.
compared to the version that Canva has, right? This
No, I mean this is
like
it. I mean
authentic
this.
Game
Yeah.
Boy, and again, this was created 100% inside of Ecamm, all Ecamm overlays. One thing that Paul said, the biggest challenge was the stripes, either side of the dot matrix text, which is those lines there, since there's a limit to how thin you can make a rectangle. Well, Anna has a solution for that, right, Miss Hill?
Yeah, I think what we have done before is like we have lowered the font size, right? So we have lowered the
Not only that, but so Paul created these right, with rectangles.
Oh,
Right?
okay,
But
okay,
there's
okay,
a
okay.
better workaround for this. So he had to shrink the rectangles down the size and also create a gray one over it, right? So he put a gray one on top to make it look like they're like a blue line and a red line. Right?
Got it. Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a workaround, so you don't actually need to use rectangles.
Right. So listen, you know my trick. Go ahead and explain it because
Yes.
it will be easier if you
Yeah.
just explain the whole thing and
Yes.
show it since you're navigating.
And you know what? So while we're here, so Shift Command D. So Paul and everybody else, right? If you go into your text overlay panel, underline. There you have it, right? And then you could actually find a thinner font type. So if we go to
Yeah.
Helvetica, for example, and just do maybe thin, sometimes you can get away with it. Depending
playing
on
with the
the
font.
type of typeface sometimes, but this has been the best workaround for us when it comes to creating an
And then
a
also
line.
lowering the font size because
Yes.
that makes the line thinner.
Yes, and then you
and
could
you
just
can play with it.
You could add more underline if you want to make it longer, or you could sometimes stretch it out. But as you can see, look at that now. That's almost matching the size of what's up there. So if we take this, right? So this is much easier to work with. Look at that. Right? So underline.
Yeah.
Underline. Underline is your friend.
Yeah. That's see,
Underscore, whatever.
And those are the things that you find right where you're doing this, because I was like, okay, we'll lower the font and then we'll lower the size, and I'm like, how can we do that? And then Fuljens is doing his thing, and then I'm like, why don't you just try an underline
Yeah.
and bam, and it was just
Yeah. The underline.
yeah.
Paul Dixon says, yeah, that would have saved some time. Yeah.
And it's all
But
about
that is
playing.
awesome.
But listen, Paul.
But you wouldn't have thought. I thought that he did the underline.
Okay, right. I mean, I just appreciated the whole thing. I didn't even like, well, how did he do it? I was just like looking at that. I'm like looking at the color palette. Looking. I'm like, how many folders did this take? How did he do
Right.
it? And then he just posted it there.
Yes.
But I don't know if we missed it. But how long did it take you? Inquiring minds do need to know.
Unless it was 10 minutes.
It wasn't 10 minutes. It was not 10 minutes. It wasn't. Not even the organization itself doesn't even take 10 minutes.
I know, right? Organizing all those things into folders takes way more than 10 minutes.
We should design what other games could be easy to design that are not that won't take that many folders, because you play a lot of games and you have done what was the other game that you had like we did it a while ago, that was the punching game. What was that?
Oh, Streets of Rage, for example. Oh man. If I had it in this profile, I would definitely share it. So, if you know Streets of Rage or any fighting game, we have like the energy bars in the top and how many lives you have and everything like that.
Yeah, that was
thing
nice.
looked accurate.
Imagine if you do it now.
That was a 3-point something
Yeah,
Ecamm
3.8.
version. And we brought Eliseo onto the show and we gave him the Streets of Rage graphics and we
That
had a
was
Streets of Rage
nice. Yeah,
countdown.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We
If we
should
do
create
that
that
now
again, yeah.
with pixels?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And then we have the live up there, like we did that one time. That was great.
It was like, once you start working with text overlays, you can find out how to manipulate them and to like create whatever you want to look. But now you have the shapes. Like it took me some time to create that thing and just like maneuver stuff and oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh,
That got me excited.
Tetris will be
Yeah.
awesome. Tetris will be super fun to design. And
Yeah.
it can actually be
No, go ahead. Finish your thought because I want to add to
it
that.
could actually be super fun, and it could be used just like on the side, and you can create something else to the so it doesn't have to be the entire screen.
Yeah, because the thing is, and I when I was during our LinkedIn live tech check that we're doing, remember I was mentioning like adding all the multiple squares and stuff like that, right? The thing is, like, if you know, it's like Tetris, like little blocks. So if we're gonna create all these little blocks, we're gonna like overload this Ecamm. Ecamm is not gonna want to turn on turn on the next day. I think we're gonna have to like make either like bigger blocks or find ways to like pull off that nice Tetris look, right?
Yeah.
But that'll be awesome.
But let's see what we create, because we're
Yeah.
gonna be in a creative environment this weekend, so maybe we can do that. But
Yes.
Paul mentioned, what did Paul say?
Oh,
10 hours. Okay, yes.
10 hours.
I mean,
10 hours. That is the work. That's the work it takes, you know? It be like that sometimes.
and probably
It'd
3
be
of
like
those
that
hours
sometimes.
were creating overlays. I
Yeah.
mean, the folders. But let's see.
We had some comments coming in. So Aubrey is here. Aubrey, hello. Good to see
Hello,
you
Aubrey.
here. Bishop Oliver
Hello.
is here. I will put this in bed
Bishop.
through the paces and see if there are features under the hood I've desired. Yes.
I mean, can you imagine, Bishop, what you did last? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
What you did, the whole weather, the whole scene that you had with
Oh,
the cars and all of
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Designing it now would be way simpler.
And even the stuff that Bishop did during Vlogmas when he came in live as an emoji,
He was an emoji,
he was
and
a cartoon before
He was a weather.
before AI was AI. You know, he was like
He was
doing
a
all
weatherman too, right? It's
he
like-
did all this
yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
Bishop, you will love the features
The
now. Unquestionable TV says nice.
No, Unquestionable TV said,
Ha,
ha
ha,
ha ha, nice.
And then Paul is saying, I think the biggest challenge with these is you have to decide on the scale from the start. You can't resize something easily.
Right.
And I believe that was another one of Martin McKenna's feature requests, and a feature request a lot of us asking
Right.
if we can group and
Scale,
move things
yeah.
together, but can we group and scale
Scale,
things
yeah.
together as well?
Yeah, and there are a couple of things that they explained it to us, was taking why
math.
the math and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, so when I was in college that I wanted to be a programmer, my student, what is a counselor, student
The guidance
advisor,
counselor?
my
Yeah, I guess-
guidance counselor
yeah.
was like, well, Anna, let's check your math scores first, and let's figure out if you can do this. And it was the math. Right, so look at this. But I'm pretty sure they will make it happen.
Yeah.
Right? It would happen.
Yeah.
But Paul Dixon also said we can create an 8-bit.
Mario. I kind of started on that since it's all squares. Yeah.
Tetris, Mario.
And there's
And
a few
Streets of
others.
Rage.
But yeah, Streets of Rage, we're definitely gonna do the Streets of Rage and revisit that. Oh my god, it's in the Ecamm, it's in the ENN profile. It's just there because I'm like, I know we're gonna go back to it. And this was right before 4.1 came out.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
Stay tuned for those
And,
waiting screen.
and there are other games out there too, like Street Fighter. We can create the Street Fighter energy bars as well. So there's some stuff. There's
Yeah.
gonna be some cool stuff coming
Yeah,
up.
and these are things that, you know, like once it's done, you can then, because of the organization that you're going to, the detail that you're going to be applying to these, you can then use the same template and create something else that later on
Yeah.
down the road, so you don't have to start from square one.
Yeah.
Right, so that's why it's so important. And if we can just show Paul's organization real quick,
trying to find
so
it.
that
I'll
you
find it
can,
again.
I think it's in the comments. He had a
This one was there too.
maybe filter it. Go to like,
No, because I'm under all comments here, and I don't see it. Hold on, 4 replies. Oh,
There
here
we
it is.
go.
Okay, here it is.
guys, it's beautiful, but that's just
My
beautiful.
goodness.
Look at this.
Epic.
The naming structure. Let's talk about that whole thing. Is just look at this. So this will help you, because what you can do is that later you can just get one of these folders and use the same graphic, the same design on another scene, on another
Yeah.
design that you want to do. So you won't have to generate or create the whole thing over again.
For sure.
Look at that. That's
Yeah,
just beautiful.
that is work.
Thank you so much,
that
Paul,
is
for sharing that.
work right there. You know, not only creating it, but then organizing it, so when you go back, you know where everything is. If the power button was supposed to be green, you know, and you made it red, you know exactly where to find that power button. Right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it opens up in Ecamm, and you have all the great, you know, like the graphic and how it looks so beautiful.
And you could transfer your assets from Ecamm to Ecamm. So if you're on your Mac Studio, you can take this down and just export that and bring it into your MacBook, for example, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's it. So great job.
Yeah, for sure. For
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, Atari.
Yeah,
Atari,
yeah.
Atari.
Listen, like with these, you know, when it's just like just little blocky characters and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, yes! With the Tetris design, you can have the blocks falling in.
Yeah. Yep.
I won championships in Tetris, so that's really awesome.
And then also too, with Mario, you know, we did, that was another thing. This was like Ecamm 3 point something.
Yes,
we did Mario, we did Pac-Man. Pac-Man would work
Pac-Man was-
very well.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man will be very good now.
We have all of them.
We have all that. We just have to refresh
Open the vault.
them. Open
We
the
have to
vault.
open the vault?
Yeah. But with Mario, you can actually create the tubes. It's so easy to create the pipes now in Ecamm and have
Yeah.
Mario fly in from the top and just go doop, doop, doop.
But yeah, so these are the things that you can now easily create inside of Ecamm, and you don't have to go that elaborate, right? You can make it simple. You can make just your shapes: circle, square, rectangle,
Yeah.
circle, squircle, which is kind of like a square.
Yeah.
And the rectangle, and just do your
And it's just
simple
like for
designs.
fun engagement, whether it's for a countdown or it's just a nice pattern interrupt during your presentations. If you're building presentations in Ecamm like Martin McKenna, have Mario just doop 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 in the
Walk
tube. Like that's
through.
not gonna hurt, you know. Like you'll find ways to incorporate these fun things because
Yeah.
it's nostalgic. People
Right.
resonate with like 8-bit video games and whatnot and
Yeah.
all that good stuff, you know. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Really, really cool.
and pretty soon, I mean, I'm saying pretty soon, but this is not, there's nothing, I'm just saying this. We will be able to time the overlays to where we want them to come later, or like
Yeah.
that would just, I mean,
That would
I
be
think we will
awesome.
all not
The-
sleep for days.
Right. The math is there because now it's all about like if it's a feature in Apple feature or a Mac feature, right? They should be able to
I mean, now
for the most part.
now that they have done this,
Yeah.
right, I think that the rest is going to be coming quicker.
Yeah.
That's my prediction because
Yes.
now they like, oh my gosh. Because sometimes they have shared, oh, I thought this was going to be harder and it only took.
Yeah, it's a few seconds.
It only took 10 minutes.
Yeah,
We're like,
to create the rotation and all
Right,
that stuff.
I
And
mean-
we've been asking for it forever.
but wait, was it the rotation or was it something else?
I think it was the
something else.
rotation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, so that's what it is, right? So just stay tuned for all of that
Yeah.
that's coming because there's going to be
Yeah,
some.
that'll be awesome to time the overlays, and also if we can actually change the distance of the fly-in, that's been another feature request as well.
The
Right.
distance.
So if something, for example,
You know what? Let's build some blocks. Let's
yeah,
do
we're
some. Let's
going.
do some bones.
So for example, Paul Dixon's comment, right? It's gonna fly in all the way from the bottom to, whereas it could start from where the logo is and just fly in. Like we could actually change the distance, like in Keynote. You can change the distance.
oh,
with that,
gotcha. Okay.
Right. So
Right.
that'd be a cool feature.
Yeah, so it stops
Yes.
right here. Oh my gosh, yes, because we can design a whole bunch of different things that would just stop in different.
Yes. Can you imagine? And the thing is, like, we already can do that in Keynote, stuff like that, but to just have those features there, you know,
Inside
that's
of
just pretty
Ecamm.
well. Especially now that, you know, people are actually justifying solid use cases for building your entire presentation inside of Ecamm, which makes
Right.
complete sense.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
makes complete sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and they look beautiful. It looks so sharp and so just beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
People would just stay looking. A presentation, yes, the content is coming, but the visuals are looking good. So
Yeah.
that's an additional, an add-on to it.
Yeah, so shout out to Martin McKenna, shout out to
Yes.
Brian, shout out to Paul Dixon, shout out to everybody sharing your work and inspiring us all with Ecamm 4.1 beta.
Serena Cajun
here.
translated for us.
Keyframe editing is a whole other, yeah. Imagine if we could keyframe like
Just
to do like
the
the
skeleton and-
the Ken Burns. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Well, Ecamm 5.0 is going to require an M13.
I mean,
It'll be totally worth it. It'll be totally worth it. As long as you don't have a ton of guests in the system. Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. So
Exactly.
okay, so
M13.
let's build some blocks. Let's just do something real quick. Just
The circle, and also too, before we do that, do we want to revisit the waiting screen and break that down?
to break
also?
it down. All right,
Yeah.
let's go for it.
Yeah. So hold on. So we're gonna go to that scene. We'll unmute it, and then we'll also kill the music so you can hear us. Actually left it lowered a little bit. So let's go into live demo mode. So you had some questions about this, right?
Right. So I was asking if the retro graphic you brought it in, but I was asking if you had applied a blend mode to the screen because I see green and then red on the other side and.
So let's scale back a little bit. So the countdown, we have the countdown, and then we have the building blocks here. And that was a Spider-Man font that was from thefont.com. And then we have these two graphics came from Canva, which is like the rays here on the left and the right. And they're custom cropped and they're rotated, right? So that's what was done here. Lowered the opacity, did some rotation, and also custom cropped with option key, right?
Let's do something real quick. Go back to.
Or do you want to just continue breaking down?
Yeah,
and then
go
do
for
something,
it. Yeah,
right? Real quick, right? So we'll just hide this, and then this is kind of like a reverse engineering for you all here. And these are all the shapes here, right? So the slants here are rectangle slanted, the black slant behind the white, and then you have the yellow, you have the blue, and you have the red. They're all slanted, and they also have opacity set to 70, and they're on rotation, right? And then for the filters, so let's hide these. Let's hide these. For the filters, it's just pixel and comic. You notice that looks so cool. So the pixel is actually adding those little dots there. That's why I like the pixel effect there, because they actually like created like some like that comic print, those comic graphics, right? But the comic, the fill is set to 100 on the slider here. But then if you mess around with the opacity, it creates some cool stuff like that in terms of like how smooth it comes in, right? And then where the camera is black and white, okay? And let's see what else we have here. And then the video here. So the video is also custom cropped. It's kind of like the skyline of the Empire State Building and whatnot. It's custom cropped and it's on a rotation as well. That's all that's there. There's no blend mode on that thing. It's just rotation for the videos. And then we have the camera underneath. And that's how it all comes together.
Pretty
Let's just bring
nice.
everything back in. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. And you had a question about this.
Okay, so what I was thinking was, if we let's click on the yellow square, please. Is it yeah, right here. Let's bring the opacity all the way to 100, please.
Hold on a second.
Yes, duplicate. Because we're going to do things to this.
All right, so the yellow, we're gonna bring it to 100.
Actually, all the colors. Bring all the colors to 100, please.
All right.
This is a lemon yellow.
Right.
'Cause
Yeah, these were not color picker. These were just all just standard colors here. Boom, boom, boom. Bring this to 100. And then the red, bring the red to 100. Okay?
Okay. So what I was wondering was, what would happen if we apply blend modes to the colors themselves? Do you play with that?
Yeah, I tried that, and well, let's just see live.
No, what happened?
I don't remember. Like really nothing. Kind of yeah.
So right. So that looks good.
Yeah.
So let's continue with multiply. We'll do
Let's see.
the same as that.
Some of them. Yeah. Maybe like it didn't really do anything with the opacity. Was set to 70.
I think the linear would go. No, linear partners. Lighten would. Let's try lighten. Okay. So what I'm trying to do, show is that blend modes are the cat's meow, in my opinion, because you can just apply a blend mode very quickly in there to your colors, play around with it, and it will have a cool effect as you're seeing here. And it's just simply going to blend mode and shoot.
And just going down the list. Yep.
I think all the things will probably stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's that. So that's all. I just wanted to check it out. And you can apply it to video. You can apply it to anything that you want.
Yeah. Hold on a second. How did you do the slanted boxes? What's up, Rich? So you basically go into, for example, here, the blue one here, right? You click on the pencil and you rotate, right? So right now it's on 10. So check this out, right? So you can see this rotating like that. And that's how we slanted everything. Command C.
Slant. That's the thing, right? So we were there looking. We can you imagine us doing that? If we couldn't do
No,
this thing, we
no.
couldn't. We tried. We're like, what if we do this? What if we try? No,
Right.
nope.
Right.
This is it.
So that is that. All right. And now for the fun part, right? It was the circles. The motion circle. Mm-hmm. Yes. I just passed the edges. Got a cool trick. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the yellow and the red, exactly. They're a little bit thinner than the blue one in the middle, and then they just got pushed towards the edge. They got pushed to the edge.
All the way to the edge. You
All
know, Dan, I have been called. I think was Karen, Doc's wife, calls me America Ferreira.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, actually, we're just going to be in Shift Command B here. It is very, very simple to create that motion circle thingy. So we're just going to go to New Shape Overlay. You know, I have to remember the shortcut for New Shape Overlay. It is
Shift Option.
Option Command. Oh, actually, that's why it keeps throwing me off, because there's 3 different ones. So if we want the circle, it's Option Command C. All right, cool. Option Command C. Ta-da! All right, so you get it to your desired size, and just come here. Now you're just gonna increase the border width to your desired size. We're not gonna see anything right now because it's black. Right, so we have it to 10, and then we're gonna change the border from color to motion. And then let's do 2 standout colors. I think that works. And that's it, right? And then now with the fill, go to fill up here. We don't want to keep that color. We're gonna subtract that color by going to none. Boom. Right? And the other thing is Option Command C. If we add another one here, you can actually take this one and maybe no border and go back to fill, and you have these type of things like twirl and all that good stuff. So this is how you create these effects if you want to distort the circle.
The force is strong with you, my little one.
It's really
so
cool.
yeah, that's
Yeah. And then of course you can just create Command C, Command V. And that's how we created the original one. Just like so.
yeah. And if you want to get creative and change colors and things like that, but I appreciate color palettes so much, because I can create a color palette. I'm like, yes, I like these colors, but actually making them work and knowing where they go and how they fit, that is such a skill. And that's why I appreciate it so much, what Paul and Martin and Brian and how they do it, and how designers, the graphic designers go on and do that. But we don't have to be graphic designers. We can just create right here inside of Ecamm, just play around with it. Just go on and trace, right? You can go on and trace and create great designs for your productions. But holy mother, when they use the color palette and all of that works, I'm just like, yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
It is a beautiful thing. Hold on. It's Paul Dixon says, you could also rotate the circles, I think, if you didn't want the movement to be identical on each.
Pro tip.
Pro freaking
tip.
tip. Let's go.
We exchanging tips.
That thing. I'm just trying to find it. Here we go.
Perhaps if you name it, you can find it quicker
Exactly.
next time.
Exactly.
So name it. like
Circles 3, because like there's like 3 different
yellow circle.
circles things here.
Unless
No,
you're
no,
gonna
no,
change the
no, no,
color.
no. I'm saying like down here, there's like other circles down here
gotcha.
too. All right, so let's try that. So this one, let's put the rotation on 70. That was a small one there, and then this middle one, let's put it on. Oh shoot, yeah, that's so dope.
That is cool.
That is so dope.
Pro tip.
And I think the last time what we did too, the big circle, blur it, add a blur to it. Let's see if that works. Ah,
Dios mío.
wait,
But look, it looks like a saucer.
right. I think it's probably the color, but we're able to get it to like create this nice glow effect. But what's going on? Why did it do that?
Is it full? Is it? Oh no, because it's not.
Yeah,
What
why is it doing
about
that?
down? There's one that's.
This is where
There it
this
is.
is where you have to. No, I just turned it off. Let's go back to the original one and see. Yeah, the glow is there. What the heck? Let's see here. Oh, there's an opacity. The opacity is at 50%. There it is.
Keep the OG.
Say again.
I'm like, this is why it's good to keep the OG, right? To make a copy of it.
Exactly. But let's try that here. Let's just try the rotation thing here. So this is set to 90. And let's just set to -90. Wait, not. It might be the same.
Oh my gosh, this reminds me of the
51?
overlay we made,
so dope.
Doc inspired. Remember, to make a gradient and we lower the opacity on the squares.
Yeah.
That reminds me of it.
That was another Ecamm 3 point something. So imagine now.
Yeah,
That is so dope.
that's great.
That is so dope. And then, of course, if you want, you could add your little distortions to it.
Yes. All right. So there you have it. Keep on creating. Keep on going to the Ecamm Live Beta group on Facebook and create. Play around with all the features. Learn some things. Break some things. Some things might not
Yeah.
work out. Just delete the scene and then come back and start all over again. You know.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Dan says, I'm telling you, you can turn that circle into a steering wheel and turn it. For real. Ari is mind blown. The beginning of a moon, says Paul.
When is full moon?
There was a full moon the other day, actually. Yeah. Are you looking to blame that? Blame the full moon on certain technology mishaps?
It was.
Since there's no retrograde.
That was crazy. Today was a crazy technology day. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not touching any technology today.
Well,
After-
it was meant to be that we have successful,
Right,
no
exactly,
issue streams
no
on
issues.
Ecamm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's that.
we are rotating in Ecamm. Katie is on the. Exactly. Go, Katie.
Oh my God.
Listen,
She's
shout out
having
to-
fun.
Shout out to Katie. Shout out-
That's where we're going. That's where we're going. But yes, I have to go to sleep, everyone. So thank you so much for being here.
It was
that
it
was
yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
See, so it was like a little
The overlay.
leftover. Yeah.
An overlay.
It was a little leak still to the next day because the things that happened today to me, I was like, are you kidding me? This is so normal. I do this every single day almost. Why would this happen to me today? So I just gave it up. I just like, do you. I'm not touching you. And I moved on to better
Shay says that happened to her yesterday.
You see? Yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy
That's
stuff.
funny.
But anyway, it's another day. And then I was like, my monitor. You know how when you have those days, right? And then everything is going, and then you expect everything else to kind of like be.
Your monitor is ready for pickup at Best Buy, right?
Yes. I'm not picking it up, though. I'm not picking it up today. I will do that on Friday. I'll do it on Friday. And this is the thing. Like, I took a long time to set up my studio because I have so many apps that I have to reconfigure. That I was like, okay. But anyway, so today I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go and edit some photos, and everything's gonna be fine. I'm turning on the monitor, and the monitor's not turning on. And I'm like, okay. And then Fuljens is trying to do some stuff because we have a stream tomorrow, and so he's gonna be co-producing. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, Fuljens, did you turn anything off in my studio? And he goes, no. I'm like, what happened? My Mac Studio was off, and I don't know who turned it off.
The Mac Studio was off?
Yeah.
Oh wow, damn.
I don't know who turned it off. Because I didn't turn it off. I was on before I left, and then it was. And I'm looking at the light, but the light's really small, and so I was thinking that it was on.
So
and
the Mac Studio was off, not the monitor.
No, it was off.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
the Mac Studio was off.
Damn. Okay. That's crazy.
I was
Maybe there
like,
was like a power thing.
Was it? You were here. You were here alone. You were here alone doing things.
Seems like there's still a need for graphic design tools for static elements, but used together with animated overlays can prove to be very powerful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure. I mean, it can be like a combination of all of it.
Absolutely.
But
Totally
yeah.
agree. Selective power outage, says Paul.
I don't know what was happening. I was like, so that's why I'm not picking up my monitor. It's gray. It's a vertical monitor. You can turn on. It's great. It's awesome, but I'm not picking it up. Because I will just have the most frustrating. I'm not going to do it.
You want me to pick it up?
No, because it's going to sit.
Oh, that's true too.
It's going to sit.
You're not gonna use it yet.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, wish me luck tomorrow. We have a pretty awesome live stream happening tomorrow that I'm going to be hosting, and Fuljens are going to be helping out in the back.
The back end.
And the back end. So wish me luck. I gotta sleep. I have to design the whole profile and then send it to Fuljens so that he can do all the things, and then I have to still design the intro, which I already have the idea, the breakdown. My words are not happening. So I already have the build out, the story, whatever. So I just have to now design it.
Yeah.
So that should be okay.
Shay says, I was working on a major project and my printer decided to stop printing. Hey, that sounds familiar. You need to print to see where my handles are going. Finally got it working at 5 today. Sounds so familiar.
I don't know why they do that. I was like, and when technology does that, especially when it's something that we do all the time, right? Something like, why is it doing this? The technology is having a bad day too, right? Because the technology is used to work, and all of a sudden something's not working for it.
Remember, I think was my last final MacBook Pro ENN. Remember that day? Where basically the entire show melted. I think Paul Duncan had to end the stream on his end.
I think you did something because he wanted to get the Mac
This
Studio.
thing was just because this is what we were talking like, oh, I'm getting the Mac Studio tomorrow and everything, and the MacBook just said.
It's just like done.
Terrence has a great question in regards to the live stream.
So, Terrence, so it's on my LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile and my YouTube channel, my personal. So, so that's gonna be tomorrow, and it's gonna be it's said to be pretty high profile, but we don't know. We don't know how.
Check out Anna Hill's LinkedIn profile. I believe that is where most of the engagement will happen for the live stream tomorrow.
Yes.
What time is it?
At 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to the LinkedIn profile. You'll get the most engagement there. It's going to be lit in the LinkedIn. It's going to be lit.
And that's the thing that we're trying to test it to see what was the best way for us to do it in terms of have an iPad. I'm like, okay, Fuljens, give me an iPad, and then that way I can just look at the LinkedIn comments. I didn't want to use Restream. Last time I used Restream because of LinkedIn profiles, Restream just did me wrong. And the customer was like, what's going on? So tomorrow I will just read from the iPad, and if there's a comment that comes in that we need to address, you just text me.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't like sometimes about LinkedIn comments. Sometimes we have to refresh the stream for comments to come through. So hopefully that doesn't happen, because let's say we do use the overlay.
Yeah, that's great
share.
to use this in screen share, but I'd rather have it on the iPad because I can quickly scroll, and I can also give it to my guest.
Yeah.
And he can select select the questions he wants to answer.
Yeah.
Because he will be the one answering all the questions.
I get my moderation inspiration from who else? Mr. Moderator Paul Duncan. So I will do the exact thing. Like Paul's technique is not, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? So when you're doing these type of streams, do as Paul says. Q: helps us find your question, right? And although we can't filter it on LinkedIn, at least now when you're on LinkedIn, you're looking for the Qs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing. And when I was doing the other one, I was actually producing it and hosting it. And I was looking at those comments were coming so quickly, and I missed one. And Fuljens was like, check, this comment is above this comment and it's below this comment. And I was like, oh my gosh. So tomorrow, hopefully, it's going to be an easier process because of the iPad. It's going to be bigger, and at the same time, I'm now producing, so I will be more
Absolutely.
more into it. So yeah, that is tomorrow. It's going to be great. If you guys don't know about Micron, they are pretty awesome. They are actually the company that's helping us all with keep our memories.
Yeah, they create the chips for Macs, for iPhones, all that good stuff. And I didn't really know much about it, and I'm just so impressed by like
cool.
everything that Micron covers. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we're gonna be doing community updates, and that's gonna be, the community is gonna show up. So that's that. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So 10.6.8. I updated to Ventura this morning. That's probably what happened too. Anyway, thank you so much. I have to go to bed. Actually, have to design the profile.
No bedtime yet.
I woke up at 3:30 this morning, everybody.
Yeah.
3:30.
But yeah, so Paul shared that. Thank you, Dan. Dan was
I was
getting ready to, like,
hesitating
share
about talking about it here,
Yeah.
So
It's all
I
good.
just
It's all good. It's all
fine. Oh my
the fam would definitely, benefit from joining this conversation. It's awesome. But check out Anna's LinkedIn tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live.
Oh my gosh, Final Cut Pro, yes. I was telling Fuljens, I'm like, I did the update. I don't know if and I'm like, the icons look different. It looks nice. It looks really good. So I was excited about seeing the update.
Do we have to be happy for the contest winner, or can we just be jealous?
Oh Jesus, Lord, we can be both. We can be happy and jealous at the same time.
Poke the bear tomorrow.
And I was asking, I was asking Fuljens, I was like, Fuljens, who's Barry? I want to see Barry right now. Barry S.
Barry?
Was it Barry? Was it Barry S?
Oh, for the
contest winner. Isn't that what we're talking about?
I don't even know who Barry is. That was the first time I heard that.
Is that what we're talking about? The contest winner? Yeah. Right? Barry
Congratulations
S.
to Barry S.
Congratulations to Barry S. I was like, who's Barry S?
Has Barry S come forward?
Yeah, the BS.
But
Barry, we're good.
Has he come forward? Because
remember last year?
Is he tagged in the post itself saying congratulations, you won?
I believe so. I think I saw it. No, I didn't see his face. I think he didn't have a profile, a profile.
Last year was somebody we knew, like from.
Oh my gosh, Tatiana didn't win.
Tatiana did not win.
It just hit me. It's been so crazy. It just hit me.
Last year was
last year
Vincent.
I didn't.
Vincent, stress out, stress free.
Vincent
won last year.
Won, but I thought
that was
he won
awesome.
a microphone only. Not the
no, he won the whole. He won the whole thing.
thing.
Yeah, and
Wow.
at that time it wasn't to 2 pod mics. It was I think an MV7. Yep, they spelled a lot of people's names wrong.
I'm telling you, it's an S there. Like they missed the C, right? It's like B is right next to C. It just.
And I'm also curious about the data. It's like how many entries and which entry number and all that good stuff. So when Katie comes back from the Amalfi Coast, hopefully we can have some of those stats and we can use it for trivia.
The Tatiana has been broken.
She'll be back. She'll be back. She'll be back. She'll be back with a vengeance.
All right, for real now. We have to go. Paul Dunnigan, thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for teaching Fuljens all the things that he knows, because
For moderating.
he's like, I feel good. I'll be able to handle this.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. He's
Yeah.
like, Paul,
I
learned from Paul.
Learn from the best.
So I'm like, okay, so long as we're good, because yeah.
Learn from the best.
So here we go.
Always have like your links ready to share on cue. So when Anna's like, hey, let's talk about this, and bloop, the link goes into
That's what we have to go over tonight.
Learn all that from
All
Paul.
the things. Yeah, I have to go over all of that with you.
Caleb has the dirt.
Oh, Caleb. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe that's something to cover in ENN.
Yeah, we'll
ENN
find out.
Monday.
We'll get those stats from
Let's get the
Caleb.
dirt.
So get ready for some
Dirt.
contest winner
digging.
trivia. This Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Ecamm Live YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Ecamm Network News.
Have a good night, everybody. Wish us luck tomorrow. Wish me a great sleep. Like, my mind just quiet tomorrow.
Yeah. And join us. Join us live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on Anna Hill's LinkedIn. That's where the party's going to be at.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Bye.
We appreciate you. Bye.